There we go. Recording in progress. Hi, everyone. It's Andrea here, and I am blessed and grateful to be with you. And we're doing this because at the conference in Arizona, there was a wish expressed to bookend your meetings with sound. And it doesn't have to be a lot of sound. You don't even have to have any instruments. But there are certain things that you do want to know beforehand. And when you're doing sound live, and when you're having a meeting on Zoom, it's not quite the same setup. Okay? So, some of you, I imagine, are going to be doing Zoom meetings, right? Anybody here doing Zoom? Good. Okay. So, first thing to remember with Zoom is how to share your computer sound. Now, the reason you want to share your computer sound is because you want to share a piece of music. You may want to share more than one piece of music, but you need to be able to just make a few simple clicks to be able to see when you're the host. Of course, you have to be the host, okay, to share your computer sound. And you will see along the top, it will say meeting, and then it will say my computer sound. Now, even though I'll have made those clicks, which I have made, and I know my computer sound is being shared, I do a sound check, okay? I do a sound check with everybody. I'm not embarrassed to do it. Do a sound check. So first thing I do is I ask you if you can hear me, all right? And you can. Now, if everybody that you're with on Zoom has their video off, you have to ask somebody, like, be my point person, keep your video on just long enough to make sure that I have the sound checks all worked out. And the second thing I check are my instruments. Now, if I'm going too fast, anytime you want to stop me, okay? So I check my sound with my microphone. I check my instruments. And I ask, do you hear it? Okay. And the third thing I'm going to check is my music. All right? Now, I hear a buzz in that. It doesn't sound right. I'm going to put it down a little. The thing about computer sound, can you hear that? Okay. The thing about computer sound is that you, as the receiver, can really control the volumes that you receive. Now, here's the thing. I really don't want to give you too much, but I want to give you this. It's so important. When you're doing sound on Zoom, you have a microphone. You got to have a microphone, okay? Now, this is not a complicated microphone. I bought it like 3 days after COVID hit. It's just called the Blue. I got it on Amazon. I still use it. What's good about it is that it has a cord, okay, that has a USB on the end, and it just plugs into my computer, all right? Because my computer has a USB port, but you may have something that doesn't have a USB port. So shop around. You need a microphone, okay? Now, second thing. I have an earbud on, okay? Now again, this computer is about 10 years old. It's a little too loud and echo. Okay, that was the music, Marina, is that right? Where's Marina? Talk to me, girl. There you are. Go ahead.
Yes, and when you hit the hammer, it's music and then echo, very strong echo.
So what you do is you lower your volume. Lower
Mm,
your volume, okay?
okay. Okay.
But it's a great example of how, because I think like I'm here and you guys are so far away geographically that I got to hit these things really loud, and that's not true. Okay? I can hit them gently and you will hear them. And I can also ask.
That's fine.
See? And that's really gentle. So you don't have to go crazy hitting the bowls really loud. And in fact, that's a mistake I have made way too often when I have people in a really nice, deep, meditative state, and then I want to bring them out of it, and I hit a bowl. And I can't always be sure that I'm going to hit the bowl just so gently. And so I have other techniques, but I don't want to get into all that yet. I want to start at the beginning of a Zoom call. All right? So you have to share as the host. You have to be the host, and you have to share your computer sound. So I want you all to write this one down, okay? Because this is key. At the bottom of the screen, there's all that menu at the bottom. Do you see where it says share? Okay, so you click share, okay? And then you see the next page that you get at the top, the one on the right, it says advanced. You won't see that now because you're not the host, okay? But when you are the host, and we are going to do this, each one of you is going to have to be host. You're going to see it and you're going to click it, because that's the key. You cannot share music from your computer if you don't share your computer sound. So you click share at the bottom. You see the next screen that's going to come up, and on the right at the top it says advanced. You click on that. Then you're going to see a whole bunch of boxes in front of you, and one of them is going to say computer audio. And then at the bottom of the same page where you just clicked computer audio, you're going to see a little square at the bottom. It's going to be nice and blue. You can't miss it. And it says share. Okay, so we're going to do this. If we don't have time today, we'll do it. And if you have trouble, mine says share screen. No, it's not the screen that you want to share. You can't do it now. The reason you can't do it is because you're not the host. Okay? So you have to be the host. Does anybody want to be a guinea pig and be the host? Somebody tell me you want to be the host. Roseanne. Okay, so this is what I do, okay? I go to participants. I go to the list of all the participants. And I go to Roseanne. This is part of just kind of stick handling around Zoom. You may already, yes, Marina, it is being recorded, yes. So, Roseanne, you are now the host, okay? You can unmute.
There.
Hi, Roseanne.
Hello.
Okay, now, go ahead, click on share at the bottom.
Yep.
Then you see advanced, top right.
Got it.
Then you see the box that says computer audio.
Yep.
And at the bottom, the little blue thing that says share.
Ta-da. I did it.
Now, you can share all your computer sound. And that's the key. The key is, what music do you have in your computer that you will want to share? Okay? So that's the setup that's really important. And there's a couple other things. Okay, Roseanne, I'm gonna take it back now, okay? But
Okay, good.
but that's how easy it is, okay? If you wrote
Easy.
down those steps, and if you forget them, don't worry about it. Just send me an email and we'll work it all out. Okay, so I am gonna go to the participants now and see if Roseanne, I'm gonna try, oh, somebody, no, okay, hold on. Roseanne, I need to be made host again,
Okay.
or let's see. So you go to participants. Do you see participants at the bottom? Okay.
Yep.
Click on where you see the little people. Galen, you have no audio. God, that's crazy.
No, I
Or
do
do
on
you-
my iPad.
Oh, you have it now.
I had to
Okay, you
change
changed.
devices, but I can't. I would never use this. I
You
would
know
need
what?
it. Yeah.
That's a really great thing to have happen, because it does happen that the audio gets messed up.
Yeah.
Things happen. Yeah, it's good to have a backup.
Well, I don't think the backup is very good on an iPad. Do you? Don't you think that it's best to be on a computer?
You know, I've never used an iPad. I
Oh.
always use my computer, but I did have a power failure once and I had a big gang, and I switched immediately to my phone. And even though I couldn't see anybody or whatever, we still had a beautiful session, and they all said that, you know, they really enjoyed it. So okay, I'm going to reclaim the host, Roseanne, okay? It's done. Okay, so now I'm the host again. So I'm gonna go down to share. You know, I probably am gonna repeat this 5 times, but the good part is that you will remember. That's the key, okay? And that's why also we do a sound check with music, because it's possible to forget to do that, okay? Now, you heard this, remember? The rustling. Totally annoying, or somebody's going like this, or they're, you got to realize that the microphone picks everything up, okay? So the headphones that I use don't have a little microphone on them. They don't have the volume up and down. These are the super basic ones that have no volume. Now, if you're listening on your end, it's really good to have the volume, because I might play a piece of music for you and you go, oh my God, that's way too loud. And you'll lower the volume. And I might play another piece of music that's not recorded the same way and it may come in too low. And you want to raise the volume. See? It's not a perfect science. But I can tell you that as the host on Zoom, it's good. You need to have headphones. You need to have some way of stopping the computer sound from being heard here in this room of the host. Okay? Because if it's heard and it gets picked up by my microphone and you get it, forget it. It's no good. So I wear a headphone. Am I losing everybody, or are you guys okay? You're good. Yes. Okay. So no volume control. I'm sure you could use like Bluetooth ones, or, you know, your ear, the plug things, whatever, okay? But you've got to have a headphone in so that no sound is heard here in this room, or in the room you're in when you're host. Which brings me to a question I get sometimes, which is, can we do like a Zoom and a live at the same time? And you can, but you can't share everything. You have to choose, okay? Because you can't share the song in your computer that's going to be heard through Zoom with everybody who's in the room, okay? You can share an instrument because you're playing that instrument, like I'm playing this bowl. So anybody here would hear it, and anybody on Zoom would hear it. Does anybody have a question before I keep going? Go ahead, Mary. Go ahead. You can unmute. Hi.
I had a couple questions. When I used to share, there was a button for optimizing audio. Is that no longer part of Zoom?
No, it's totally there. If
Okay.
you go to audio, okay, this is where you can also choose the settings that work best for you. So you go to audio and you see there's that little arrow that goes up and you click on that and then it brings you to another page. And on that page at the very bottom, it says audio settings. You click on audio settings and then you get your testing, you get how you want to use the profile, if you want low background noise suppression or high background noise. So sometimes my computer acts up, okay, and it gets hot and the fan goes off. And there's actually a setting in audio where you can have more background noise suppression, okay? But I didn't want to get too crazy with all of it. But yes, go to audio, go to the bottom, and click on audio settings. And another thing you can do when you're there, when you click on that little arrow, that up arrow at audio, and it says select a microphone, you want to be sure that the microphone that you have plugged in or that you have put in through Bluetooth is what is selected. Okay?
Yeah, and one other question. So if I'm sharing my computer audio, if I cough or something, are people going to hear that, or are they only hearing what's...
That's such a great question. It depends. It depends if you mute yourself or not.
Okay.
If you don't mute yourself, yes, girl, they're going to hear everything. The computer sound is going to work and your microphone is going to work. Okay? Yeah. And there's so much to talk about just in terms of sound and the layering of sound on Zoom. We really are asking a lot of our hardware to do sound healing on Zoom, even if it's just a 5-minute opening and closing, okay? If you try to speak and to hit or whatever instruments you have, and bring in music, see how you hear my voice? Okay, so in that case, I did not want to mute my audio because I wanted the bowls to be heard with the music, okay? But if I just wanted everyone to get the nicest, crispest sound of a lovely piece of music that I have on my computer, then I would mute myself. But don't forget to unmute. Okay, it's like the most common mistake. We start yakking away, talking this, that, and then just to realize, oh, nobody heard me. Thanks, Mary, for that. Does anybody else have a question? Margaret, go ahead. This is fun. Go ahead. Hi, Margaret.
Hi. So I found a beautiful guided meditation from Suzanne Wilson, and I play that at the beginning of my Zoom meetings, but it's on my computer desktop and they're listening through my speakers.
No, good. do you do the meeting through the computer?
Yeah.
Well, then, all you have to do is share your computer sound. Why don't we try it? Okay, just before I make you host and you try it, you'll find your piece of music or your guided meditation.
Oh, great. Hold on. Hold on.
Well, yeah, that's a good point too, is you want to know where it is. No, you don't have to find it just yet, but the point is,
I know where it's at. I know.
okay, the point is that you want everybody to hear it from your computer to their computer. You don't want to pick it up with speakers and then send it to them. That's really awful sound.
Well, so something I noticed when you were doing it, when you're playing the bowls, they sound fine to me. They're a little loud, but when I go to Sound Best, they're loud. But it would be a good idea to maybe play a tone and ask if that's too loud, please adjust your volume.
100%, absolutely. Because also, that's a great idea because everybody has their volume placed differently. Like, yeah, that's a fantastic idea. Like, is that too low?
So you give them a chance to adjust their settings.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For some it could be too loud. Yeah. Like I know lots of people use that earbud thing with the little microphone on it and the little volume control, and they can just quickly adjust because it's not just the bowls, it's all the instruments. For instance, but I want to still go back to your thing before I move on. Okay,
yeah,
so you found it.
Yeah.
So you need to be the host. And when you're the host, you're the host, girl. You're going to go to the bottom, share.
Okay.
Advanced.
Oh, hold on. I click share. No. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, I see advanced. Okay.
Computer audio. I guess that's the one thing we're all going to remember from today,
Yeah, there it is. Okay.
And share at the bottom.
Okay, share at the bottom. Okay.
Now, go ahead and play your music and let's see how we hear it.
Okay. Oh, this is magical. Okay, it's coming on.
Now,
It's on. She starts out really slow. Let me speed her up a little bit. Oh, wait.
Bubble of protection
There she is.
that is bathed in your divine white light, sealing in all my positive energies and good health.
So I have to make sure my speakers, my volume's hot.
that's right. Like I find, it's a whole other thing. When you are sending out computer sound, you want to make it loud enough that it's going to be loud enough for everybody. And if it's too loud for somebody, well, they'll lower their own volume.
Okay.
But like I found that it wasn't loud enough. And my volume's on high, so I can't do more.
Okay, my volume's on high now.
In the white light,
But
Are you sure?
your guidance, inspiration,
Yeah.
and protection.
Let me check her. Oh, hers is low. Oh, hers is low. Okay,
And
hold
now,
on.
still aware of
There.
your body, relax your neck.
You see?
Move it slowly
see?
from side to side if you like.
Yeah, so on the
Let your shoulders drop.
Okay, you could stop it so we can talk. Yeah.
yeah.
Letting go.
So on when I pull up the sound bite on my computer, her volume was low.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Because there are actually two volumes. There's
Right.
the volume of the piece of music and there's a volume of your computer.
Okay. This is good to know.
So
Yeah.
and I can tell you that her voice was crystal clear and it will be beautiful. Okay? You'll have a great meditation. And there was something I wanted to say about that. Oh yeah. The drag is that every piece of music is recorded differently. Some are recorded really low, some are recorded really high. So you kind of try to find a middle ground, and you also know and tell the people that are with you that if this music is too high, use your own volume. But you pretty much play it high. Like the Ave Maria I just played, that little snippet, I didn't play it high because it's really recorded loud. So, and I know that from experience of playing it.
So if I keep mine high, then I'm instructing everybody to adjust to their liking, to their
Exactly.
Okay.
That's it. They control their own sound.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you use that, what you just did, computer sound, it's beautiful. Ta-da!
Okay. This is going to make it so much easier because I was high anxiety the first time I did it. Like, am I going to do it right or whatever? And it's a beautiful guided meditation. I'm like, oh, I hope I do it right. So this is perfect.
Okay, there's a couple things about playing music, but I want to take Galen's question first. I'm just going to reclaim the host, okay, Margaret?
Yeah.
Okay. And by the way, if you do stuff like this and you say, okay, I'm reclaiming the host, you have to go back in, push share, push computer audio, push event. You know what I mean? You got to do the whole thing. Okay, Galen, yes.
Question about the participants who may or may not have headphones. So I know headphones are ideal for receiving, not a conversation, but music. So how do we work that around? Just suggest headphones, and if they don't, they don't, but the sound receiving is going to be different. How do we monitor that?
You can't, actually. You suggest it, but also lots of people have pets, okay? And pets really, really love sound. Like you should see all the pets that crawl all over the computer screens of the participants. So they like not to use headphones because they love to have their pets enjoying it too. Okay, so it's really up to them. There are some songs that you may not want to play if people aren't using headphones because it's so subtle that if you just hear it from the computer to your computer to you, it kind of sounds lousy. It doesn't see, my dogs love the sounds. Exactly. That was Margaret's comment. So I tell people, you do whatever works for you. My dog loves it too. It's amazing. I'm always amazed. It's that even something as strong as a crystal bowl is loved by the animals. So it's not something you can control, but you can definitely suggest that. I mean, and in all meditations, almost they often suggest headphones will give you a better experience. Okay. That actually brings me to a point about the difference between live and Zoom. Is anybody doing this live too? Yeah. Okay. So, when it's live, now I do live sessions that are the whole hour is sound. You're going to do whatever you're going to do. You may end up doing a whole hour of sound. You may love this so much, you're saying like, this is what I want to do. Who knows? But the point is, when it's live, the setup of the room matters. Okay. Now, if you're sitting all together having a Helping Parents Heal meeting, you're probably sitting in a circle anyway. All right. If you're having more people, who knows what setup it might be, but you want a nice democratic setup. You want a circle. You could even sit in the middle on the floor with your bowls. Now, usually, by the way, I always do sound on the floor. But this was a 2-hour session. I said, there's no way I can sit on the floor for 2 hours. I will be in so much pain. So I changed my setup. When it's live, then you want to just kind of check your group. Make sure that the feet, the legs, the arms, uncrossed. And what usually happens anyway is after a minute or two of breathing in the vibrations, people tend to uncross. It just happens automatically. It is actually the coolest thing. I see it all the time. So now I don't even say that anymore because they just automatically, just unfold. The other thing you want to check is that the soles of their feet are flat on the ground. Some people are short. you know? And so what I do is I have, you know, those blocks like for yoga? I always have a few yoga blocks so that people can use those. Because if your feet are flat, if your back is straight, you can sit back in the chair properly, straight spine, and it's a much better position for meditating. Okay, so when it's Zoom, hey, they could be lying on their bed, they could have the screen off, and they could fall asleep in the first 2 minutes. And that happens too, and people wake up at the end. That's okay. But you're going to have meetings where people are going to share, right? So you just want to create space for that. And you want to create already some kind of heart connection between you all. And my experience is that you do a combination of sound and your voice. Right, Rita? When we do our sessions, we start and we take a moment and listen to the modulation, and your voice gets gentler and your tone gets a bit lower, and you go slow. Sometimes it takes me like 50 seconds to finish a sentence. Just because it's true. It's like, you know, hi everyone. Okay, time to land. It's really important. I mean, you may think all of this is crazy and don't do any of it. It's up to you. But I'm just telling you, in my sound life, people like to have some direction. They like to have some instruction. Oh my God, it's snowing. It's snowing. I don't believe it. It's snowing. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, it's snowing. It's Vermont. Yeah. People like direction, okay? And they like to take a moment, and we all know what is the most appropriate, simplest, greatest way to get everybody on the same page, and that's to do a bit of breathing together. It just works. You can get as complex or as simple as you want, but my suggestion is stay simple. If you start saying, let's do box breathing, they don't know which side they're on. Am I at 6? Am I at 4? Am I at 2? No. It's like you want, so this is now like a sort of, I'm showing you what I do. I just slow it down. And I really do suggest that we take a moment to land. We take a moment to land in this place. Forget the before, forget the after, just we land. And then we do a couple of conscious breaths. And a conscious breath, it just means that it's a breath you think about. And so we breathe in by the nose and out by the mouth. And in by the nose, out by the mouth. And I do 2 or 3. There are 2 phrases. If you don't want to guide and facilitate with the voice, there are 2 things I really want you to remember to say. One is follow the sound. The thing about sound healing is you do feel, it's very much like we are not, as the practitioner, we are not doing this alone, and the receiver isn't receiving alone, right? We all have teams with us, helping us integrate it, move it around, help us heal on so many levels. So when I kind of hear that nudge, you're losing someone, right away, I'll say, stay in the moment, follow the sound. Stay in the moment. Follow the sound. And you know what? It works. It brings people back. They're forgetting about what we had to make for supper, yada, yada, yada. They come back just by that suggestion. If you feel like you don't really want to speak and you're maybe shy and will I have the right words or am I going to say something dumb? Just remember, you can't really get it wrong. And your voice is so important to create harmony. Okay, it's not the music alone. The music is great. The music will put them in a lovely meditative state, but you want this group to share. You want this group to come together and that there be a loving feeling with everybody on the screen, no matter where they are. And they need your voice. Okay? They need your voice. Okay. So, live sound. I use a Bluetooth speaker. I don't use a computer at all. Of course, I don't use a microphone. I don't use any headphones. Live is so simple, okay? I have the music. You may have it on a phone, on an iPad, wherever you have it, on your computer, wherever you have your music, use a Bluetooth speaker. I only got into the 21st century like 6 months ago, a year ago. I'm so thrilled. It works really well. Don't try to play the sound through your computer, okay? But connect your computer to a Bluetooth speaker. And you know how when you're doing Zoom, you do a sound check at the beginning? Well, do this at the very beginning before anybody gets there, okay? Make sure that the connection is made. Okay. If you find your Zoom sound doesn't sound so good, see, like we all have our video on, right? And you know about Zoom, how it uses more juice when you have your video on. So that's a way. And also people love to initially turn the video off. Or since you're going to have a meeting where everybody's going to share, you can keep the video on. What I want to talk about now, it's 1:43. We're going to just go another few minutes, take a little break, okay? 5-10 minute break, and then we're going to come back. I want to talk about the music, okay? Because you may have instruments, you may not have instruments, but you can do a great job just with music with your group. So before I do that, does anybody have a question? Okay. So, I have on my music list a piece of music that is actually called Minute of Silence. Okay, you all need a minute of silence. I'm going to send it to you right now in the chat. All right? So the point being, if you play a piece of music on your computer and you let that piece run to the end, you don't want some other crazy piece of music barging in right away afterwards, okay? You want silence. So, give me a sec here. There we go. There. And copy. Of course, it's not going to have anything on it. It's just going to be silence. But it's super practical to have. Okay? You got it. It's super practical to have. And you put it after, like, Margaret, if you go to the very end of Suzanne Wilson's meditation, put that minute of silence after. Okie dokie?
Right.
The other,
I at the end, I don't know how to transition. I've been using my little Tibetan bowls, like just barely hitting them, but yeah.
what you want is, the other thing you want to do in your transitions at the beginning and at the end is you want to work with the volume. So you can bring her volume, like the volume on of her piece, bring it down like 20 seconds before it's over.
It was so low. I must have like really faded.
Exactly, you faded it, which is the way to go, okay? And okay, I want to show you the difference, okay? This is the wrong way to do it, okay? The wrong way to do it. Sorry, I'm sorry. It's not going to be fun. This is the wrong way. Okay. Loud? Right? Or it wasn't too loud for you guys. You see, for me, it was really loud. Okay. The point is, you want to start soft. You always want to start soft. And then raise. Now, is that too loud for anybody? It's not. It's good. Do you want it higher? See if you can put it higher. It's like making me deaf. It's unbelievable. It's so loud for me. And at the end of your music, you want to fade. You want to fade. The tricky thing is that everybody has a different system, different volume. It's really hard to get it perfect every time for every piece of music. So now I actually want to talk about the music. Now everybody has Spotify and all this stuff, right? I use a source called sourcevibrations.com. One word, SOURCE, vibrations with an S.com. All of the music on his site is for sale. And there are 3 pieces in there that are free. Okay? I have bought like hundreds of dollars from this gentleman. He's got the most amazing stuff. His name is Asa, A-S-A. And when I started doing sound with Helping Parents Heal, I asked him, I said, Asa, can I use your music and not worry about copyrights and all this stuff? And he said, yes. He said, yes. So I use his music freely. I record it. But I want to give you an opportunity to hear these 3 pieces, okay, that you can buy on his site. You have to create an account, but it's free. The first one, if you're having a meeting, you're going to do a little sound at the beginning. You're going to get everybody in that beautiful space, have your meeting, and you're going to want to bookend it with sound at the end, okay? And this is a really lovely piece. You can use this piece if you want to do a journey. I use it often, take people here and there, and we go off of, I don't know, it depends, whatever comes at the moment. But it's super versatile, very easy to listen to. And I'm going to share it with you now. It's called Blue Radiance, okay? It's 3 minutes, 33 seconds, and Asa gives it to us for free. Now, one thing you should know about Blue Radiance is it's actually recorded very low, okay? So you have to put it high. Here we go. I have a question. I'm going to stop it for a sec. How was the volume? Was it good? Was it low or it was okay? Okay. I had it at the absolute top, okay? And if I had played Ave Maria at that volume, it would have been awful for everybody. So you see, that's the dilemma. But that's why we just kind of have to stick handle it around, learn about the music we use and the way it's recorded. So this is Blue Radiance. I'll give you a little more. And of course, it conjures up, with the birds and the heartbeat. And it's really a nice way to finish your session to get, hey, you could use it at the beginning too. But it's especially nice because sessions can get, we know, can get heavy, can get very emotional, whatever, and we want to bring the light in at the end, okay? So Blue Radiance, I'll play a little more. Now, one thing I would never do is this. Ready? I would never do that, okay? I would always fade, all right? Use silence and sound. It's so effective, okay? So when I was finishing, I fade. I bring the volume down, even though there's a fade in the song, okay? And of course, I have my 1 minute of silence that's there so that I don't run into another piece of music. Okay? That's Blue Radiance. Do you want to hear the second piece? The second piece is so cool. It is beyond amazing. Actually, no, this one isn't free. No, I'm going to go with the free ones first. This one is called Celestial Contemplation. Now, it's actually over an hour long, okay? And Source Vibrations gives it to us for free. Now, this is all about gamma entrainment. Now, we didn't even touch on anything to do with brain waves or brain entrainment or synchronizing the hemispheres. We haven't talked about any of that yet. We'll do that in the second half, okay? Because that's like the theory stuff that gets a little crazy. But then again, it all depends on what you gravitate to. See, to me, all that matters is that I be a good vessel, that I create harmony, and that I create flow, and that I only have one intention with sound, always, and it's to offer what is in everyone's highest and best good. That's it. And only everyone knows what that is for themselves. It's not up to me. I don't know what it is, but they know what it is. So there you go. Now, your computer sound, by the way, like, okay, I'm talking to you now. Do you all hear me okay? Okay, so I'm going to start lowering my computer sound. So I'm getting softer. I should be getting softer, right? And softer until you don't hear me. So if you mute yourself because somebody walked into the house or whatever reason, don't forget to turn back your volume on. So we are going to play just a couple minutes of celestial contemplation, okay? Now, this is all about the sun, celestial, right? And there were some incredible sun explosions, and created all kinds of rays that were sent to the planet, and they created this music. So here we go. And again, I always start with my volume low, okay? And then I raise it gradually. If you just play this music without any kind of intro, it's very possible people are going to think it's really weird. But if you play this music and introduce the fact that there has been a huge amount of sun activity, and that these gamma rays are coming to Earth, and that they are a gift to us, because the gamma frequency is a frequency that's extremely beneficial to human beings. And so that's what this recording captures. Then it's a whole different thing when people listen to it. Okay? So introducing, I do that sometimes. And this last piece, it's also free. Poor Asa, I'm giving you only the free one. But I've bought so much music from him. And once you go on there, you'll be like a kid in a candy store. It's too crazy. And most of the music you can sample. So you do want to hear it. And of course, you might have other systems, Spotify, whatever, you'll play your own stuff. So the third one that's free is called A Rare Convergence. But then I want to play you something that isn't, but it's so amazing. You got to get it. Okay, here we go. A Rare Convergence. This one is actually 15 minutes. Now, the only music I usually play like to the end would be Blue Radiance at 3 minutes, 33 seconds, right? Here we go. This was actually created by Asa when we had the solar eclipse this year. Now, if I was going to introduce an instrument, way before the session started, I would play and I would find which one of my instruments worked. So, and I would try them. So, any piece of music, if you do have instruments, it's really fun to bring your instruments into the piece of music if you can. It's 2:00. We're going to take a little break, but before we do that, I'm going to stop the recording.